Welcome to the exciting world of networking. It might seem like a complex universe filled with strange terms and endless commands, but it's really not that scary. Think of it like learning to build with Legos. At first, you just have a pile of bricks, but with a little guidance, you can build amazing things. Cisco router switches are the building blocks of the internet and corporate networks. They direct traffic, connect people, and make our digital world possible. Learning how to configure them is a foundational skill, your first major step toward a career in IT or becoming more tech-savvy. This guide takes the mystery out of the process. You don't need years of experience to get started. Today, we're going to demystify these devices. We'll walk you through the entire process, from unboxing your equipment to sending your very first packet across a network you built yourself. The goal is simple: to empower you. Clear off your desk, grab a cup of coffee, and get ready to transform from a networking novice into someone who can confidently configure a Cisco device in minutes. Your adventure starts now. Before we can start configuring, we need to gather our lab equipment. Think of this as your networking starter kit. First and foremost, you will need a Cisco router and a Cisco switch. For beginners, older models like a Cisco 2960 switch are fantastic and affordable, or a Cisco 1941 router is a great choice. Next, you'll need a way to connect to these devices. This requires a Cisco console cable, usually light blue. One end is an RJ45 connector like an Ethernet plug. The other end is a serial DB9 connector. Since most modern computers lack serial ports, you'll likely need a USB to serial adapter. Finally, you'll need a computer and a couple of standard Ethernet cables. Now that you have your gear, let's make the physical connections. First, power on your router, then power on your switch. You'll hear the fans spin up, and you'll see the lights start to blink. This is a good sign. Next, take your blue console cable. Plug the RJ45 end into the port on the back labeled console. Then connect the DB9 serial connector to your USB to serial adapter. Finally, plug the USB end of the adapter into an available USB port on your computer. This single cable is your lifeline to the device. It's how you'll give it initial instructions before it's on the network. With the console connection established, we need software on our computer to talk to the device. For Windows users, PuTTY is the most popular choice. Once you have these settings configured and click Open, you'll be greeted with a blank black screen. Press the Enter key once or twice. You should see a command prompt like router or switch. Congratulations, you have successfully accessed the CLI. Now that you're looking at a command prompt, you've officially initiated a conversation with your Cisco device. This text-based environment is the command line interface, or CLI. It's where all the magic happens. The CLI has different modes, each with its own set of privileges and available commands. The first mode you land in is called user exec mode, indicated by the greater than symbol, like router. Think of this as a read-only mode. It's very limited. You can look around a bit with commands like show, but you can't make any changes to the configuration. From user exec mode, type the command enable and press enter. You'll notice the prompt changes to a pound or hash symbol, router hash. This is privileged exec mode. This mode is like having administrator access. From here you can view the entire device configuration, save changes, perform powerful troubleshooting tasks. To get there from privileged exec mode, type configure terminal, or the common shortcut conf-t, and press enter. The prompt will change again, this time to router config hash. This mode is where you make changes that affect the entire device, like setting a host name, creating user passwords. It's called global because the commands you enter here apply universally. Let's start by configuring our router. First, you want to make sure you're in global configuration mode. The very first thing we should do is give our device a unique name. The command is simple, hostname R1. Next, let's set some basic security. We'll set an enable secret with the command enable secret class. Now, let's configure the network interfaces. From global config mode, type interface Gigabit Ethernet 0/0 or int G0/0 for short. Now assign an IP and mask with IP address 192.168.1.1255.255.2550. By default, router interfaces are shut down, so we have to turn it on. Command, no shutdown. You'll see the console say the interface state changed to up. Configuring a switch is pretty similar. Set the hostname with hostname SW1, set the enable secret, and configure VLANs for network segmentation. You have entered all these great commands, but right now, they only exist in the device's active memory, called the running configuration. If the router or switch loses power, all your hard work will be gone forever. We need to save our configuration from the volatile RAM to the non-volatile memory, which is called NVRAM. This saved version is called the startup configuration. It's what the device will load when it boots up. To save your work, you must be in privileged exec mode. The command is copy running config startup config. Press enter to accept the default file name when prompted. You'll see building configuration. Okay, your settings are now safe. With our configuration saved, it's time for the moment of truth. Testing the connection. The most fundamental tool is ping. It sends a small packet to a target IP and waits for a reply. From privileged exec mode on R1, ping the switch management IP, type ping 192.168.1.2. You should see exclamation points. Bang bang bang. Each bang is a successful reply. Periods mean timeouts and indicate a problem. A successful ping confirms both devices are on the network, have correct IPs, and interfaces are up. If the ping fails, first check physical connections. Is the Ethernet cable in the router G0/0 port and a switch port? Second, check configuration. Run show IP interface brief on both devices. Check status and protocol. They should say up. If they say down or administratively down, you may have forgotten no shutdown or there's a physical layer issue. Another common mistake is an IP address mismatch. Router 192.168.1.1, switch 192.168.1.2, mask/24, 255.255.2550. They must be in the same 168.1 network. Use show running config to review everything you've entered. With these steps you can solve most setup problems. Keep practicing to build confidence and troubleshooting skills. For more learning, check Cisco Networking Academy, NetAcad, and Packet Tracer Hub. Congratulations on completing your first Cisco configuration.